Hey guys, it's your boy Chris. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hi Firefly. Thanks for being here. Hi Ali. Hi Guernsey girl. I'm just gonna natter on for a little bit, just for wait for a few people to get in. Obviously, we're still trying to get our foothold back in onto YouTube. So, and obviously with the channel changing name and what have you, probably some people probably aren't aware of the channel name. Hi Tamra. So how is everyone? We are in for a storm here in the UK. We have got a huge storm brewing for tomorrow. It's going to be 90-mile-an-hour winds, and they've issued a red alert, which is the highest alert they can issue. So yeah, it sounds pretty bad. I mean, we're pretty good at um, blowing things way out of proportion in this country. You get a little bit of a wind, and all of a sudden we're kind of having a hurricane. But they have actually issued a red alert, so it does sound like it's going to be quite serious. So yeah, if you're in the UK, then batten down the hatches. But we don't at least get any kind of huge tornadoes like you do in America, of course. Hi, Gulf Coast girl. That's a new name. It's nice to see you. So yeah, what we're going to basically do tonight, we're just going to again go over Suzanne's case. Obviously, the trial's fast approaching, and personally, I'm seriously worried that, in my opinion, from my point of view, looking at everything, going over the evidence, and especially going over Barry's story, to me, he looks guilty. In my opinion, Barry Morphew is guilty of killing Suzanne. I think he killed her on the Saturday, and I think he buried her. Going by what I've read and I've seen, that's my opinion. Um, Everything, people looking at his truck and the journey to Broomfield and what have you, I think Suzanne was already dead. I think she's probably buried somewhere near the home. Um, I don't think he would have took her all that way or took her in the truck at all. That's what I believe. But I've serious worries that he's actually going to get off because they have no body, they have no official crime scene. Um, they're obviously going to have to prove, unless they find her between now and then, they're going to have to prove that obviously one, Suzanne is officially deceased, and two, that Barry's guilty of killing her and have no body. Of course, it has been done. There's been no body homicides. People have been put away for that before. But as soon as you've got that doubt in the jury's mind, then it's difficult. And I can tell you, Barry has tried muddying this case so much. Even when I'm going through it now, it confuses the hell out of me in a lot of ways. I have to keep going back over and over to try and get his story, his final account, because it's changed so many times. And as we go through this tonight, it will, a lot of what you hear maybe not what was he said now, because it's difficult to follow and put it all together. But that's purposefully Barry trying to muddy everything. He's done it intentionally, and he's probably, we know he's got a bit of money. He's probably knows a lot of people in that area as well. It's yeah, he's and now, of course, with it coming out about Suzanne's affair, of course, he's trying to do everything he can to tarnish Suzanne's name and put doubt in people's minds about her character. I mean, let's be honest here. She had an affair. She didn't deserve to die for having an affair. Nobody deserves to be murdered for having an affair. Affairs happen all the time. It's a part of life. It happens in marriages. It's not right. In my mind, it's not right. It's not a thing to do morally in my mind. But nobody deserves to die for that. And was there any other way out of that marriage for Suzanne? Seriously, I mean, looking at what we know now about Barry and what people have said about him, Did she have a safe way out? Was she doomed? Could she have ever have got out of that marriage without, the horrific events of what's happened? In the way you look at it, she was almost trapped, completely trapped in that marriage. But I don't think we're here to judge, Suzanne or anyone for having affairs, extramarital affairs. To me, it's a case of, was she murdered? I think she was. Who did it? Who's responsible? They need to go to prison for it. That's the justice that we're looking for. We're not really looking for anything else in my mind. And like I say, I'm certainly not here to judge anyone on having extramarital affairs. And this is a murder case. To me, it's that's what matters. So, and she is being judged on social media. I've seen it. It's changed people's opinions about this case. It's changed people's opinions about Suzanne. But ultimately, I believe she was murdered, and she was murdered by her husband. And he's doing his best to cover it up. And he's done a pretty good job, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm kind of scratching my brain on how to try and unravel this and prove to you guys that he's guilty. How many of you in chat? How many of you believe that Barry is guilty of murdering Suzanne? Just say yes if you believe that he is guilty, or no if you believe that he's innocent. Because I know that it is a bit of a mix. I know it is a bit of a mix. So my three rosebuds says yes. Firefly says yes. Kazarite says yes. It's just his behaviour, especially on the day. I mean, going to this job out of the blue, first thing in the morning, not telling any co-workers, and then spending most of the day in his hotel, for one, is extremely sketchy. And then you've got all the stuff, of course, with his phone and his truck, which we'll look at in a minute. This perfect evening, how many times have we heard this? The night before they had this perfect evening, everything was wonderful. And the next day she disappears. These things always never add up. They always seem to work out that way. There's always everything was fine, everything was perfect, and then boom. But yeah, like Ali says, victim shaming, and it is. It is really. I mean, I've no doubt in my mind that Barry more than likely was having affairs as well. But like I said at the beginning, she doesn't deserve to pay for her life for it. Nobody does deserve to be murdered for having an affair. And who are we to judge? We don't know really anything about their marriage, do we? Only what we're hearing now. So, I'm not going to throw shade on it. I'm not going to throw my opinion on that. It's simply, to me, it's a murder case, and it needs to be solved as into who murders her. I mean, in my mind, I'm sure you'd agree. I think Suzanne is no longer with us. There's still people believe that she ran off and what have you. Maybe she ran off to Ecuador. There's no way she would have left her children behind. I can't believe that in a million years that she would have just left her two daughters behind. From what I saw, her interactions with them and texts and stuff, she loved them dearly. There's no way she would do that. I don't believe that for a second. So we'll just sort of go through it a bit. It may be a bit scattered all over the place. I do apologise. And then Firefly and Kim, Kim's going to be just a little bit late, but when Kim will come up as well, and they'll just sort of give their opinions and just have a general sort of chat really. So no drama. That's one thing. Me and Kim and Deb have been talking about a lot lately. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but YouTube and the YouTube drama. I don't really get it. I don't understand. I know it's some people's thing. Whatever, it's fine. It's not something we're ever going to do here. You're never going to find this is going to become a drama channel. I just don't do it. Um, if I see someone speak out about me, or I don't really care about me, but if someone speaks up about our moderators or anything, then I will speak up. And if they're lying, I'll certainly will show that they're lying. That's what we do. When we show receipts, we bring receipts, but that's it. I'm not interested in getting into drama with anybody. But we're here to study true crime. That's what I want to do. That's what I want this channel to be. So the drama. There's a very firm division now, I think, between true crime and drama. Two very separate entities now. You've got all these drama channels that don't really talk about true crime. They kind of spun off of true crime, and then you've got the proper true crime channels that actually do look and study cases, and that's what I want this channel to be. Obviously, the whole ethos of supporting victims and all that kind of stuff, that's never changed. Do you know what I mean? None of that's ever changed. And we'll always do that. We'll always try and be a voice for people that have been cruelly taken. So, and that's what we're doing here. We're trying to be a voice for Suzanne. We're just trying to piece together the story, put it together, put it out there, see what people think. And hopefully, come trial, if there's no more mix-ups and what have you, it's going to work out that justice is served. So I'll see. Right, but can you just bear with me 1 second? I have a manic cat trying to get into the room. Ollie's trying to make his way in. So just bear me 1 second. Bless his little heart. He's trying to claw his way in. I don't mind having it, but he'll walk all over the keyboard, and then that'll be the end of the stream. So he likes to do that. He likes to come and sit on my keyboard. Bless him. It's one of his favourite things. Probably the warmth from the laptop. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look. Just say we're waiting for Kim. But let's just have a look at Barry's version of events. Okay, this is kind of starting from I'm trying to go through the affidavit, trying to put it all together. So some of what I say may be an older version of what he said, but I'm trying to catch up as I go through. I'll be trying to catch up. So, and we'll look at obviously red flags as into his story, because to me his story's got massive holes in it, and it just doesn't ring true with me at all. Of course, the first red flag, Barry states that he set and awoke to his alarm at 4:30 a.m. that morning. He later said that he just woke up on his own without an alarm. And he also later said that he thinks he recalls seeing about 4:15 a.m.-ish. And then he later said he didn't actually set the alarm on his phone, he set his clock alarm. So his story there changed multiple times, basically to match the kind of evidence that was put to him. Why that's so difficult, one, for Barry to remember, I don't know. Two, why is he getting up so early, 4:30 in the morning? Where have we seen this before? Hi, Kim. Yeah, we've seen this in other cases. It's almost a familiar pattern, isn't it? The day of a murder, or the day of somebody needing to dispose of a body. They don't tend to lie in, do they? They're always up, middle of the night, early hours. The plan's got to be put into action. Cover of darkness as well. It rings true here as well. And then his phone, Barry entered his phone into airplane mode at 4:32. Again, to me, that's not something that an innocent person would do. I mean, how many people here set their phone into airplane mode? And let's take the going on a plane equation out of it. How many people set their phone into airplane mode? How many people do that? Just say yes or no if you set your phone into airplane. I can't remember really the last time that I would put my phone into airplane mode for any reason, unless I was desperately trying to save battery or something. Could count on one hand the amount of times that I've done that. So immediately to me, you know, that is a massive red flag, isn't it? On the morning after or the morning of your wife's disappearance, you're up at 4:30, you're putting your phone into airplane mode. Bear with me 1 second again, guys. The cat's gone mad. Okay, hang on. Okay, cat's out and I'm out of breath. Hi, Kim. I'll tell you what, Kim and Deb, I'll bring you up. I'll just put the link in the chat. God, I'm out of breath. And then you guys can come up if that's okay. Right. Okay, I've just popped the link in the chat. That should take you straight here, hopefully. Let me pin that. Sorry guys, I'm still trying to find my way around StreamYard. Well, I'll leave that there. If you have any problems, give me a shout. I'll just carry on for a second. So Barry, he got up 4:30, puts his phone into airplane mode. According to him, had a shower, got his clothes on, went looking for some socks. He saw Mallory's sheets in the dryer. That's not something he initially said. He said that later on, obviously to match evidence that they told him they found the sheets in the dryer. He said he dug through some of Suzanne's clothes in the dryer. He said a pair of her shorts were in there. And he left at 5 a.m., he said, to go to Broomfield. Suzanne was asleep in the master bed. He said he didn't speak to her, but he heard her snoring. He then differed about what he saw her wearing. He said he last saw her wearing short white shorts, a white string type shirt, but this recollection changed from she was naked to he didn't see her properly to he just saw a lump in the bed. He said the detail he remembers is her breathing. So again, his recollection that is quite sketchy. And he said he had this trip to Broomfield. He said he had it scheduled to get eyes on this job that had needed doing, this retaining wall, and he wanted to see what tools were needed on the job. Morgan Gentile, his co-worker, she was supposed to travel that evening, and Cassidy Cordova was due to arrive Monday morning. Now I have noticed with Morgan Gentile, because I was speaking to her a little while ago, she does not want to speak to anybody anymore. I always had a good relationship with her and what she told me, a few things, but now, boom, it's like, no, I'm not talking to anybody, basically. Which I found a little odd. I guess maybe she's being harassed by the media. I don't know. But yeah, she ain't talking to anybody. Okay, I think we've got Deb here. Hi, Deb. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. How you
Oh,
doing?
good. Hi, everybody. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. It's the first time you've been up here for a long time, isn't it? Well, it's only the second time I've been up for a long time. But
I like
yeah.
your show, Cats Gone Wild.
My what? Oh, I know. I know,
Cats
bless him.
Gone
What a
Wild.
nightmare. Cat's gone wild. I'll have to rename it, won't I?
Yeah,
Because as soon
absolutely.
as I jump on the laptop, or as soon as I jump on the computer, boom, that's it. He wants to be involved. But the trouble is, he'll jump on the keyboard
Yeah.
and then you'll all disappear. So, oh, bless him.
He wants the attention. That's why.
Yeah.
See if I can get in
Well,
chat
I
here.
think,
I haven't done this for a while. Let's see.
yeah,
Private
we're still
chat.
finding our
No.
feet back in. Hi, Kim. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, can you hear me?
Hey. How you doing? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Cam.
Good. Just got off
You
work.
want
Oh, yeah.
hard day?
Oh, me too.
Yeah, well, you know, it was okay.
Hard working, you guys, isn't you?
Yes.
Some of us
Ooh,
have
I
I
can
missed
jobs.
see
the
chat on my
beginning.
TV.
Yeah, I can't see chat at all either because
Oh,
I'm on my phone.
well, I
Okay,
just mirrored it to my TV. So,
so what are your thoughts? So starting with you, Deb. What are your? I mean, this looks sketchy, right? Getting up at 4:30 in
yeah.
the morning, sticking his phone
Hmm.
on into airplane mode, and
Right.
going off to a job that he's not told anyone about. To
Yeah.
me, that's
Yeah.
obviously straight away is a huge red flag, isn't it?
Hmm. Well, it is sketchy, and I know AJ McCleary had said, and a few other people, and I echo this sentiment. Um, my concern is, that they have to have a lot of evidence that I think we don't know about, or this guy, he could possibly walk. I mean, he had access to a lot of heavy duty equipment, so ugh, I,
Mm,
I don't know. I don't know. I hope he doesn't. Weasel his way
yeah,
out of it.
it's really looking. How do you feel about it, Kim? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I find it very strange that he had his phone on airplane the whole night. I mean, I really don't, unless you're on an airplane, there's really no reason to do
Right.
that.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep.
if you're sleeping or if you just don't want to be bothered, you can put your phone on do not disturb. But airplane, I don't see any reason for it unless you don't want. I guess he might have thought in his mind that would keep them from tracking him at all,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
they can get past that these days, you know. So
Yeah, it's just the timings of it as
Exactly.
well. The way that he put it on, pretty much as soon as he got up, it seems.
right,
Right.
Um,
he
it's just sketchy as hell, isn't it?
he had it on he turned it on the previous night, right, and then it was still on. But I mean, you can tell from all of the activity that he had going on that he didn't sleep at all that night. He couldn't have.
Yeah.
No.
Well, murder's
So
messy.
what were you doing? Because he's saying that Suzanne was asleep when he left, but clearly he was never asleep.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Clean up,
It,
doing laundry,
Yeah, right.
washing sheets, cleaning plates, barbecuing. For one,
He was definitely busy, huh?
he was
it's
no
a
Chris
it's,
Watts though, and that's kind of alarming to me because he just didn't make all those major mistakes, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys
Yeah, right.
think.
He tried to cover his tracks more than Chris did for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. But what I thought was interesting, I don't know if you saw, but on one of the spy pen recordings that Suzanne did in the truck, he was listening to
Hmm.
numerous episodes of Forensic Files,
Hmm.
which is
Mhm.
like a crime show. I mean, that's quite telling to me. This guy's obviously he's either interested in true crime or he's looking into how police work, what they look for, all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean? I thought that was quite
Yeah.
telling, really.
Could be a
Yeah.
combination of the two. And also,
Hmm.
I mean, he was listening to a podcast about a woman that went missing on a bike ride. So,
Oh
that's
my
kind of
gosh.
odd. Did
Hmm.
he get the idea from there? That's what I'm wondering.
Sounds it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard he listened to a lot of true crime. podcasts. I do a lot during the day.
I do
That's
too.
why That's why I'm single. Men don't want to come near me. They know. They're like, don't go near her. She murder you. Yeah, she get away with it. Yeah, that one. So, but I agree, Kim. I mean, the airplane thing's weird. I did it one time. I got this phone. It's new, and I accidentally hit airplane mode, and I couldn't get it off. I was freaking out.
Yeah,
I mean, you
and
know it's on because you can't use your phone.
Did he say? I think he might have said he done it on accident, but I mean, I'm not buying that, but I think he did say that.
Yeah, of course he did. I mean, his go-to when he doesn't want to say
Mhm.
anything is he's
Right.
got this line of I don't recall. I don't recall what I did. I don't recall doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot through his interviews, he's come up with that when he's been
Yeah.
faced with difficult questions. I don't recall. I don't remember.
Right.
The usual kind of
Right.
stuff.
He just so happened to have his phone on airplane mode for, all those hours. And when they go back and look, the investigators or whoever, when they check into that data, that's not anything that he normally did. I think
Right.
Suzanne mentioned that he had turned it off, put it on where she couldn't track him a few times when they weren't together, but he'd
Right.
never just put his phone on airplane for the entire night. That wasn't a normal thing that he did.
No. So I suppose it's one of those things, if you look at it from a jury's point of view, you think, well, yeah, that does look sketchy, but at the same time, could he possibly have just done it by accident? Do you know what I mean? There's always that kind of, it's not like a photograph or like a piece of evidence where you're pointed at the crime of a scene, on a photograph or something. It's kind of a bit of evidence that's there, but I guess you could say it's circumstantial. You know what I
There's
mean?
an overwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence, but the thing is, I don't know. I hope that they can prove something.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not damning. I think I hate to say it. The thing I think the prosecution has that they can really work with is affairs on one or both sides. It's the oldest, one of the oldest reasons why murder happens in this, society. There's nobody should be dying, but it unfortunately it drives people to do it. It's a motive.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to go for a little bit of it this morning, and we can just chat about a few points. So he's up 4:30. He said he had a shower. He got dressed. He left at 5. Suzanne's asleep. Doesn't speak to her. I say that recollection did change. Morgan Gentile was supposed to go with him. He was supposed to pick her up, but he didn't, of course. And apparently, he texted Suzanne at 6:10 a.m. The kind of stage text thing. He said, "You up? Happy Mother's Day. I love you." And he then gave him his route of travel to Broomfield. He conveniently missed out the fact that when he come out onto the Highway 50, he took he should have took a right and went straight towards Broomfield. He took a left, which he had no reason of doing. That put him then in the path of where Suzanne's helmet was found. And he claimed that he saw a bull elk or something like that crossing the road, and that's why he went that way. But this was something that he, omitted for a long, long time when he was being interviewed. To me, that's another massive, massive red flag because he had no reason to go that way.
Right. He didn't. Yeah, exactly. He didn't tell that story at first, right? So when the investigators came point blank out and asked him and said, "Hey, we can tell that you turned that way," then he admitted it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Only when it was put to him. So, that's not something you're going to forget, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
Certainly, if you saw an animal and you know what I mean. And that puts him right in the path of where Suzanne's helmet was found.
Oh. Well, I was wondering.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if either one of you fine folks or anybody in the chat knows. Did they have security cameras on the house? You would think they would. I just haven't heard much about that.
Yeah,
they weren't working.
Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens, especially when I'm murdering somebody.
Yeah, very convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, some people have argued maybe Suzanne had them off because she was worried about Barry stalking her, but personally, I don't really buy that. I think it seems too convenient to me for them to be not working, right?
Well, if you think your husband's stalking you, you keep the cameras on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they had cameras. I think y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I remember reading something about cameras being in their garage or somewhere inside the house.
Okay.
So I could see her maybe turning those off if she was afraid
Right.
he was watching her every move. But I don't think,
Mm-hmm.
why would she turn off the outdoor cameras? That would not make wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
Seems like he
No.
would be the one.
that wouldn't make sense at all. That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so he stated his route. Now, I don't know. Personally, I think he did go straight to the. I know a lot of people are saying now there is some discrepancy with the truck data. There's some weird anomaly in the middle where he's in Broomfield and 8 minutes later he's in back in Salida. But personally, I
Right.
don't think he did anything. I think he murdered Suzanne at home, and then I think when he got to Broomfield, he was throwing stuff away. I think that was his next part of his plan.
Mm-hmm.
But that is open still, whether he did something on the way to Broomfield. It's a 3-hour journey. I think it seemed to add up, the times and everything. But yeah, don't think they have much on that. There's no kind of massive
Mm-hmm.
discrepancy in the data on his truck. He didn't go
Right.
anywhere strange. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. This is one
Well,
thing I can't remember. Did the cadaver dogs, when the investigators were originally searching, did they ever hit
mm,
on anything?
Yes, they did. They
mm,
hit on the bobcat. The digger outside the
Wow.
front of the house. Yeah, it was
oh, the
days
front loader.
later.
Mm.
Yeah, which is very sus, right?
It's a lot of
Wow.
land. They have a lot of land. They have what, acres and acres.
Yeah,
She could be
yeah.
anywhere.
They hit. I mean, the dogs hit multiple places, didn't they? Do you remember they were digging out at? Sorry, the dogs were out at another site as well.
One of his work sites, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, they were digging. Oh,
They were
I remember
digging
that.
there and another site as well, Poncha Springs, I think. They were digging up
Oh,
some
yeah.
land, a plot of land, and they were hitting there. But I don't know what happened with all of that information.
But a lot of this
Crazy.
stuff has really gone under the rug. It's there's not much. I don't know if the prosecution's just playing it really close to the vest.
Yeah. Rupal Thacker, yes, it has changed. Yeah, changed a while ago actually, but then we were off YouTube for a while, so yeah, I figure
Yeah.
there's probably a
Same.
lot of people that haven't put two and two together yet.
Same Three Stooges, just different name.
Yeah.
Right.
You won't let me, Shirley. Thank you all for being
Okay.
here. Love everybody in chat. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So, okay, another massive red flag.
Yes,
One of
real
the
quick.
first things he did when he got to Broomfield, before he went to the hotel, I believe, is he went to a trash can at a bus stop,
Huh.
close to the hotel,
Mm.
and dumped something in a trash can. That was kind of trash can run number one. There
Mhm.
was five trash can runs. Can you
Oh
believe?
my gosh.
Yeah, he was at
Um,
one of them for like an hour or longer, right?
mm,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
Like,
you
Crazy.
know,
what would you be throwing away for an hour? That is just insane.
mm,
No clue.
it's very much. Remember the Doulos case?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
just thinking of that,
Yep.
Chris. All
How
those
similar?
stops. I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Trash bags everywhere.
yeah. It's never a good sign, is it? When people are throwing stuff away. I mean, 5 different trash runs at different sites. Just
And it's
unbelievable, really.
unfortunate because evidence just disappears once the trash guys show up,
Mhm.
Mm.
He did admit to throwing away some type of tranquilizer material, though.
He
Oh,
admitted to
wow.
that, didn't
Yep.
Mm. But
he?
he's being a
Interesting.
hunter, so he figures that'll
Yeah.
fly.
Exactly. He could use an
Yeah,
excuse for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Gulf Coast Girls are saying, yeah, they dug up the beachfront property. I think that was where they were doing like a rock beachfront, weren't they? It was a river. It was a
Oh
riverfront
yeah.
property. I remember them digging that up actually. Yeah, and the Longhorn property. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there was two, and I think they did hit. I think the dogs. I'm sure they hit on both sites, but it all kind of went a bit muddy after that. I didn't really hear much more after that. Probably a lot of that will maybe come up later, I guess.
hi,
Yeah.
Pavel.
The Longhorn property is his. That was the land that he bought for. Did he say it was for his mom or something? It was some land that he had purchased, I believe, though, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, quite a lot of property actually, didn't he? Okay, so he gets to the hotel, I believe. Not sure exactly what time it is. I will have that in a minute. But another thing, when he got to the hotel, he had a shower, and of course he's had a shower before he left. He said, so why you would need 2 showers within a few hours, I don't know. And he changed shirts as well, quite a few times.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So this is him getting to the hotel. I think it was about 8:34, I believe. About just over 3 hours later. And he was taking in trash bag. He had some clothes. He had a khaki backpack. Yeah, so that's him arriving at the hotel. Like I say, he stated he had a shower when he got there, which obviously is a bit suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
He said he rested for a short period of time, then he went to the work site around about 10. That was close by, wasn't it, the work site?
Pretty close, I heard.
Yeah, Via Vara, I think. And there was a retaining wall job, and he went to have a look. Now, after he looked at that site, he decided to go and visit a McDonald's for his next trash run. Yeah, this was trash run 2, I believe. He said that he was just cleaning out his windshield, cleaning some trash out of his truck. But when they looked at his truck, it was the right state. Don't know if you saw the pictures of his truck.
Yeah, it was messy.
Yeah, it's a hell of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So again, here he is chucking stuff away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And to begin with, there was a city ordinance so that he couldn't even do that job on a Sunday. So it's just none of it makes any sense.
No,
and
that's
yeah,
right. Well, I think he was just trying to remove himself. I'm with Chris. I think he killed her at the property. I think he buried her somewhere, and I think he moved her. As gruesome as that is, once people sniffed around. But yeah, so I think that he was just trying to put himself somewhere different when she went missing, is why he did all this. Just my opinion.
Yes,
yeah, I think
definitely.
it was kind of just like an alibi, wasn't it? The
job. Couldn't be me. I wasn't home.
Yeah, familiar story, isn't it? Oh, look at me, I'm just going to work.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe it was the cat.
Yeah, exactly the same as Chris Watts. You know, he's trying to hide it in the normality of his kind of day, his working day.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it all went down on a Saturday, the day before. I think that's when it happened.
Yep.
And like you, I believe it's the only thing that makes sense to me is that he killed her and buried her somewhere.
Yep.
Close to the house.
Mm-hmm.
With that,
I think he might have. Yep.
Go on, Kim. What did you say?
I was gonna say I think he might have put her in. People were. I don't know how much. I don't know if there's evidence to back this part up, but I did hear somewhere that there was coolers missing from his house, like the large animal type coolers that hunters use.
Yep.
I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything more about that. Have you? I don't know what happened about that.
No. And I don't recall who originally said it. If it was someone that was at the house, but I know I heard it in the beginning.
Yeah, I heard it in the beginning too, and then nothing.
Okay, so he's at his trash run. He's texting Suzanne again. He's texting his daughters to see, because I think that by this time, the daughters had texted him, asking if he could get hold of their mum, kind of thing. And he asked them to try them again and let them know if they couldn't. And then he claims, now I think he was called at 5 p.m. He was called by the neighbour, Jeanne Ritter. I think it was.
I believe that's, yep.
Yeah, he claimed initially that he was at the job site when this happened, which was later proven to be false. He was actually in his hotel room.
Yeah.
In fact, he spent the whole afternoon in his hotel room doing nothing. Well, not doing
Right.
nothing, but he was. You know what I mean? He wasn't at the work site or anything.
Right.
Yes. I think they said he was only at the work site for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, he was in a chlorinated. He was in a special room. It was a chlorinated room.
That's the other thing. Yeah, the workers that turned up said it stunk of chlorine, didn't we? I remember all of this when it came up, and he tried to claim that it was the pool.
Yeah.
But your room's not going to stink of chlorine, is it? Really?
No, they
Even if
said it was
it's
like overwhelming.
yeah.
Yeah. I've never
Strong.
stayed in a room that smelled like that. That's all I know. It's a little strange.
Yeah, it is strange. Because it's a lie. That's why.
Right.
I don't know if he had bleach or what.
And then
No.
whenever Jeff Puckett came and took the room over eventually, Jeff found some
Right.
kind of paperwork in the room, right? But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it was an insurance document or something like that. It was an insurance
Yeah.
document. Now, of course, Barry claimed he took nothing in the room. He claimed he took nothing in the room. But clearly, you can see, from that picture, he took a lot into the room.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Well, it wasn't a Mother's Day card in the tray. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know how you kill somebody and then, especially texting your daughters, the guilt would just, I don't know. Ugh. I don't get it. Sickos.
I know it's really bad. I mean, the least he could do at this point is just admit his guilt for his daughters. They have to go through this now, and I guess they believe him at this point. I don't know. They're in a bad situation, but this is a horrible thing that he's doing to his daughters. Really is.
Yeah.
Well, it's emotional and mental torture on an evil scale.
Yeah.
I mean, I have children. I have two sons, and they want to believe their parents, especially when they've lost one and they've only got one left. They might try to overlook a lot too for self-protection.
Yes, they don't want to believe it, I'm sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be quite supportive of him, don't they? It kind of really plays in my mind when I see the images of him with his daughters, and
I know.
they really seem to have his back and they're fully supportive of him. And I get that because obviously he's their dad, and they probably can't believe that he would ever do something like this.
Well, they're not privy to everything the prosecution knows at this point. It might be a different story once the trial starts and everything starts coming out. Maybe.
Yeah. And another thing, as manipulative as Barry seems rather, he could have told them anything about their mother. There's just no telling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but let's just say he was planning to kill her, right? So he just started kind of on the sly. Some of us have been there during a narcissistic divorce, the smear campaign, just kind of setting you up to be the bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I did hear he was doing that to one of the daughters. Kind of, poor me and your mother's cheating and all this stuff. And it's like, why are you involving your children with that? Ugh.
Yeah.
Disgusting. You creep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think since that's come out, obviously about Suzanne and the affair, it's only benefited Barry, isn't it? It's only benefited his whole story. And, it's like I say, it's kind of, in a way, people are now starting to, take his kind of take his side a little bit.
Right.
But I don't buy it. I don't see it. I don't know if she could have ever, got out of that marriage safely. Do you know what I mean? Being the character that he was, I don't think divorce for him would ever be an option. Do you think?
I don't think so. And what's really sad is she knew that. When you read through her text to her friend, she absolutely knew that she was in danger.
Yep.
What do you do in that situation? I mean, what as a woman, what do you do in that situation if you?
Well, I can actually speak.
Out?
I can actually speak on this, and it is terrible to say this. It was probably a month after my divorce. It got so bad. I had to take my children, my two sons. I had to fly. We all left to Florida with my family, and I stayed there for 5 years. You have to get that far away from them because, they're planning to destroy you. And the children are, you're the bullseye on the dartboard. and anything around them is collateral damage. So unfortunately, you have to, lose everything you have and uproot yourself to stay alive and stay sane.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I think she was kind of biding her time. She was trying to wait it out until the youngest daughter
Right.
was out of high school, and it just
Right.
didn't work out that way. But I think that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, and knowing you're in danger and actually envisioning somebody killing you, I think is a fine line. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard to fathom.
Right.
Mm.
Even though she knew that, she even said she was scared of him, but she
Right.
probably didn't think he would actually do what he did.
No, because you have children.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
would think that would stop them.
I mean, let's say that, Barry didn't kill her. What else could she have? Where else could she be? Where else would she have gone? I'm sure she wouldn't have just upped and left her daughters like that. I can't imagine that a mother would ever do that. Can you?
No, I don't believe that. And also, I have heard some people say that she left to be with her boyfriend, but the problem with that is her boyfriend is still there in
With
his
his
home. I don't
wife.
know if he's still married, but he didn't disappear. So she's obviously
Right.
not with him,
Yeah,
Exactly.
last I heard
Yeah.
he was still with his wife, so he's not with her.
Some people talk about,
She's
possibly an abduction, a stranger abduction, but again, it just
well,
doesn't ring
that's
true. The whole thing linked in with Barry's behaviour and the way the whole bike situation was staged, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, behavior is very telling. Very telling.
Yeah, I'm just worried that it's not actual, significant enough evidence to convince an entire jury. Do you know what I mean, of his guilt? But like you say, the prosecution might have more. We don't know, do we?
I pray they do.
I hope so.
Me too. If they don't have
Unfortunately,
a
I
lot
don't
more
think they'll
than
ever.
this,
Yeah,
find out.
I don't think they'll ever find her. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't
I
know,
don't
but I
either.
don't think they will. Yeah.
No.
No.
Nope.
Someone's picking up some background noise.
Oops, sorry. I was taking
Sorry.
ice cube.
That's all right. Yeah, no, I don't think she's gonna be found. No way. I don't think so. I just don't know whether they're going to find her ever. I really don't. I mean, he even said to it was something that Morgan Gentile said in one of her interviews. She was talking to Barry about something, and he said that he could bury a body and nobody would ever find them.
Right.
He actually said that to Morgan Gentile. I think it was like a day before, or a couple of days before, or
Oh
quite
my
recently
goodness.
before. It's just something that she remembered him saying.
Right.
No, that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this
It is.
happens, and you kind of put the two and two together, and you think, well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you were saying, he's got access to all this machinery. I mean, those bobcats can dig a hole so quick,
Mhm.
And deep.
and deep as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, what if he kind of tranquilized her and then buried her? You just don't know, do you? That would leave no blood. It would leave, there would
Yeah.
be very little trace. And if you buried her deep enough,
Yeah. This is just what I had in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because she mentioned that he had chased her around before when they were at some resort trying to get her phone, because I guess he either knew or suspected she was texting someone. And so that's what I think might have happened, that he was trying to chase her to get her phone whenever they say he
Yeah.
was moving around outside. And then there's been some controversy about that, though, saying that the cell phone records can't actually show that because the reception wasn't good. But Barry admits that he says he was running around shooting chipmunks. So he's kind of admitting he was running around outside there. So I kind of think he might have been chasing her and
Yeah.
tranquilized her. I think I don't know enough about this stuff, but I think she might have ran into the house if she had the time to do that and locked herself in the bedroom, and then he kicked the door in.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like you say, he has now put himself at the house at that time with a gun, basically, hasn't he? He said, yes, I had a gun. I was shooting chipmunks. So he's put himself there at that time with a gun, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and like you say, there's all that evidence about the phone. You know, it looks like the phone was moving around the house quickly. He's then come up with the story that he was shooting chipmunks. You know, he always seems to have this story, animal-related story, doesn't he, to anything that
Right.
kind of looks a little bit suspicious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from
Okay,
what
so
I know,
just
he
going back.
wasn't a chipmunk hunter.
No, no, absolutely no.
More
I mean, he
big
said he,
game,
No.
you know.
And
he
he's
said he shot.
also, I don't
Go on,
understand
Ken.
why there was a gun shell in the floor. That's kind of weird. And he just left that there. I don't know what was going
Yeah.
on there, but
Do you think maybe Suzanne maybe had a gun, was trying to protect herself, maybe from
yeah, that's
Letecia?
what I was wondering too. Maybe he didn't see
Could have
it
been.
because he was busy doing other things that morning.
Because they've got the damage to the door frame, haven't they? They think that maybe, you
Mm,
know, he kicked in the door and that
Yep.
caused the damage to the door frame.
right.
Possibly she could have had something to protect herself, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was
Poss
wondering. Maybe she was possibly trying to exactly protect herself, put the gun, the bullet into the gun or whatever. I don't know. And then maybe
Right.
if he had tranquilized her, or either maybe when he got in the door, she wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think he did something like, choked her to death because, there's no blood really of evidence. If you shoot somebody, there's no matter how much cleaning you do, there's evidence of that between the cleaning fluids and the blood. So I think he just probably choked her to death and then got his little front loader there and buried her.
Right.
About
And
his
from
dead.
what I heard an expert speaking on, if he did tranquilize her, that could have killed her
Mhm.
on its own.
Oh, and she was little.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think those darts could knock, you know, they can knock out big animals.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, a kind of smaller woman, it's not going to be a problem, is it?
Right.
Um,
And he would know that.
yeah,
Yeah, he would know that. Yep.
he would, yeah. So okay, so yeah, so he's back at the hotel after sort of being at the job site. And he's now carrying papers into the room. As I was saying earlier, he said he didn't carry anything back into the room, but
Mhm.
clearly he took in a huge wad of papers, right? And then, like you say, Jeff Puckett found the document in the hotel room. Again, it all
Right.
looks very sketchy. You know, what are these papers? Why are you taking them into your
Mhm.
hotel room?
Right.
Why you keep changing your clothes? I think 3 times he changed his shirt while he was at that
Right.
hotel. Again, it's not kind
Mhm.
of normal behavior, is it? Really?
No, change your shirt 3 times to
No.
do absolutely nothing but sit in your hotel room. Why?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay, so 11:56. He exits the room and now got a white shirt on. Again, he's carrying the binder. He then walks back out to his truck. And so now he's going to the work site. Goes at oh no, sorry, this is when he's now starting to put trash away again. So he does it at the hotel. So this is like trash one number 3. Again, that can't be normal
Wouldn't it be
behavior, can it?
easier to throw everything away at one time
Right,
if you
right,
weren't throwing
Kim?
away evidence?
Right, Kimberly?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Especially when you were at one trash can for an hour, you think you could have disposed of it all at one
You couldn't
time.
get it all. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Oh, if only they knew what was it. If only they knew what was in those
Oh, I
trash
know.
bins.
Oh,
Yeah, I
evidence.
know. I
Oh,
wish they did.
I
How
know.
key would that evidence be if they had that?
A lot.
Mm.
You probably
And
wouldn't be
then
walking around on bail.
no, was it 500 grand or something? 500,
I, I think it
100
was
grand.
500 grand.
Yeah, he's obviously got money,
Yeah, I
hasn't he?
can't. Yes. Suzanne's money, right?
Right. But
Hmm.
yeah, well, and it's weird because Colorado, I mean, they seem usually murder cases for, if you're charged with it, you don't get bail. It's weird. Why would he, because I guess he's got a lot of money. That's all I can figure.
Yeah, I don't understand why he got bail. And then on top of that, when they're saying that his ankle monitor is basically useless because it can't pick up a signal. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Kai Bell said it was 500,000 U.S. bail. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was. That's a hell of a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's obviously got money.
500,000.
He's obviously got a bit of power in the town where he is. I've no doubt about that. Someone said earlier that a YouTuber's been harassed or whatever on by someone or locally or what have you. I know that has happened. There was a little bit. Can't remember the name of the creators, but
Yeah.
there was a creator or two, wasn't there, that were kind of getting threatened or what have you.
Yep.
Well, he can do what he wants to me because I'm in the UK, so I'm safe over here.
Right. Yeah, and
Because
I don't
I'm
know
gonna,
what happened. Sorry, Chris.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I say I'm going to be pointing the finger at this guy right up until trial and after, because that's just how I feel. In my gut, I feel this guy's guilty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do too.
I really
Right down to
do.
my core.
Yeah, particularly after the affidavit came out and everything we saw in there. I thought, wow, this
Mm,
guy's guilty. But I can see that there's enough kind of reasonable doubt in there that he
right.
may get off, and that's what really worries me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know. It's the thought of anybody getting off murdering such a beautiful lady, or anybody for that matter, is absolutely nauseating.
Yeah. How
Nauseating.
long that arrest affidavit was? What, 100 and something pages?
Yeah,
Never seen anything like it.
It was long.
that's just a part of it. I think they're going to have thousands more pages than that. I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's probably just a tiny bit of it. So when he left his hotel room, right? So he went into his hotel room,
Yeah.
12:42 p.m. after he'd been to the
Mhm.
site and what have you. Went back to his hotel room. Okay, he didn't leave that room until 6:03. So he basically spent 4 or 5 hours just sat in his hotel room. Why did he go so early? Why, you know what I mean? If this was such an important job,
Yeah.
why was he there so early on Mother's Day? Didn't tell anybody he was going there. Do you know what I
Nonsense. It
mean?
was just his alibi. It's all it was.
Yep, exactly. I wonder if he wasn't sure about. I wonder if he sort of was a bit negligent about the cameras in the hotel. Maybe he didn't think the fact that he was, just carrying stuff into his room and all that kind of stuff. And the trash runs. He must have known they were going to be picked up on camera. I can't
Yeah.
believe that he wouldn't have.
I don't know if he's just cocky enough to think that no one would even look at him. I don't know.
Possibly. But yeah, 5:15. The neighbour called. And so they called again at 5:45. He then took him 20 minutes to leave the hotel, and he didn't ring Suzanne. He didn't text her or anything for like about an hour from this moment he knew that she was missing. Again, surely if that was the case, the first thing you would do would be try to ring your wife, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you would be calling nonstop.
Exactly. And then he left the tools, of course, at the hotel, and then rang the workers, to say that he had an emergency and he had to go home. And of course, then he turned up back at the bike scene, doing his little act. So yeah, that was his whole kind of day, really, of doing nothing, chucking rubbish away, and that was it, really.
Yeah, that's all he did, right? Sat in the hotel room and drove back and forth in between trash cans.
Yeah, on this vitally important job that couldn't be done anyway because of laws on jobs on Sunday. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I just hope that the jury see that, and then see how ridiculous that whole thing is, that whole day.
Yeah, I definitely think people will see. I just hope they have enough to convict him, or really do.
Yeah. So yeah, they spoke to some, as I say, Morgan Gentile's kind of gone very quiet. And she doesn't want to appear to speak to anyone. Of course, she may be being harassed by the media because now, especially because her name's out there now as well, isn't it? Well, it has been from the start, really, hasn't it? But
Yeah.
I just worry that people are going to be silenced. Anybody who's connected in any way to the case are going to be quietened. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're going to be
I wonder if
silenced.
I wonder if Morgan still lives out there in that area near him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
because that's not right either. That they've let him out. I mean, he's free, and they have witnesses that are scared. That's not right.
No, because she did say, right, that she heard his truck go past the house in the morning or something.
Yeah, she said something like that. I think
Yeah,
maybe he was supposed to have picked her up or something, but then he didn't. I don't remember the full story, but it was something like that.
yeah. But yeah, I've no doubt in my mind that no one's going to say anything around there. I don't think they are. Anyone like that, Morgan, Jeff Puckett, all those guys, workers, anyone, I think they're going to be scared to say anything
Mhm.
because of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I
they would
really do.
definitely be afraid to talk unless they're pretty sure that he's going to be put away.
Mm, definitely. Did Deb drop off?
Huh. Yeah, I
I
don't
think she's
know.
gone.
Deb, where'd you go?
I think she's
Guess she
gone.
got tired of us.
So yeah, just some other crazy things that Barry stated. He's blamed everyone but himself, of course. He said that maybe he thought his wife was abducted. He then stated that Suzanne started taking THC and CBD before she disappeared. That she was buying drugs off the street, and the person that she was buying from could be a suspect. Again, this is all
Mm-mm.
part of his game plan of kind of muddying the whole thing, in my eyes, to kind of tarnish Suzanne's name, um,
Yes.
take the heat off of him, make people look at her and her character, and could she have run away, and all this and that. Um,
Exactly. And if she was using THC, she was using it for treatment for her cancer. It's not like
yeah,
she was, I mean, like he's trying to make it sound.
he's trying to make her sound kind of bad, basically, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's trying to put her in a bad light. Um, he was asked twice if he took anything into his hotel room besides his backpack, and he said that he didn't. We clearly saw that he did. Um, and one of the key points actually was this text actually that they focused on, which was sent. I think it was the 6th, 3 or 4 days before, where Suzanne basically said to him, "I'm done. I couldn't care less what you're up to, and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly." And I
Mhm.
think the focus on that has maybe been a kind of pivotal point, in the
Yeah.
whole thing. I think that was on the Wednesday. She clearly wanted out, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. He knew that. And he also deleted that text from his phone.
That's right. Yeah, he swiped it off of his phone, didn't he? Well, he
Yep.
claimed that the marriage was fine, didn't he? He claimed that there was no problems and
Yeah, he
everything was
did.
great.
And with her phone being missing, he might have thought they wouldn't be able to get it back. But fortunately, he was wrong.
Where do you think her phone is, Kim? Do you think he destroyed it?
Yeah, or I think he could have thrown it out anywhere in any of those trash stops that he made, or even out the window on his way
Yeah,
to Broomfield that morning.
that would have key evidence on. I think it was 4:30 in the morning it pinged, wasn't it? The last ping it had, which matched the time that he got up.
Yeah,
So
that's a little coincidental too.
yeah, that's interesting. Um, but yeah, I don't phone. Yeah, I think he's like you said. I think he's probably destroyed it. Can't imagine that he would have just left that somewhere
Yeah,
and
he
just switched
probably
it
did
off.
destroy it.
Yeah, he would have destroyed it definitely. There's also a lot of discrepancy about when he came home on that Saturday, the day before, because they had this perfect day. Right, this is what he said. Apparently, they had this perfect Saturday. Everything was great, and Suzanne wasn't drunk. She wasn't intoxicated. Because that's another thing, isn't it? That he's tried to put on her, that she started taking antidepressants and mixing it with her alcohol
Yes.
and kind of getting drunk and what have you. But he said that day she didn't, and they had this great day. He came home, um, they ate steaks, even though they only found one plate in the dishwasher. Um, they ate steaks and ended up having sex, and it was just a great night.
Right. Yeah, that reminds me of the Chris Watts situation there. He eventually said that too, which I don't believe. But yeah, and that's where he contradicted himself again, because he said all of that about what a great night they had and her not being drunk, and then when he saw her selfie that she took that day, he said she looked drunk in the selfie. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either.
No, not at all. But yeah, like you say, it reminds me of the Chris Watts, doesn't it? Everything's
Yeah.
great. They had sex. Nothing wrong over here.
Yeah, right. Things are just
And
great.
yeah, and this is the day before. So I mentioned about the spy pen. I found that really interesting that he was caught listening to Forensic Files episodes in his truck,
Yeah.
like you said, a young girl that went missing off of her bike.
Mhm.
Um, all that very interesting. Kind of gives you a little bit of the mindset of him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Was he planning this? Do you know what I mean? It makes me think, was he planning this ahead of time?
Yeah, I do wonder if he got the idea for the whole bike ride thing from that podcast he was listening to. I don't know how close in time range that was that he was listening to that, but that is very strange.
That's very odd. Right, Deb's lost the link. Right, let me just copy the link back for Deb. A sec. She got
Okay.
kicked out. Let me just find that. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's take that out. Okay, my live stream's doing nothing. Can you still hear me, Kim?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. I'm trying to take this off. It ain't going, guys. What's going on?
Technical difficulties.
I know it was up in the chat earlier, the link. See if I can find it. Bear with us a minute, guys. Just trying to get Deb back up. Oh, don't you just love live streams? Let me see if it's still in there. Might be. Okay, this is not good, guys. I can't even type on my screen. Right, let me just refresh a minute. Hang on a sec. Can you hear me, mother? Can you hear me? Am I back? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, sorry guys. I don't know what the hell happened. My computer just completely went and froze. What a complete shit show. Never mind. Told you we're well, you know we haven't been back on long, don't you? There's only a second live since we've really come back, so it'll probably be a shit show again. So don't worry about it. Deb and Kim, if you just want to keep an eye on the chat now, I'll I'll wrap up soon anyway. But that was funny. Thanks for the long membership join, Firefly. I've just seen that on my phone. I've just noticed you can't see anything like that when you're in StreamYard. You can't see any membership joins, you can't see any super chats, anything like that. So I do apologise if I've missed anything like that. I need to remember to keep an eye on my phone for things like that. Annoyingly, it doesn't come up in StreamYard, which is really not very useful. But there you go. Oh yeah, I can hear myself now. But there you go. So yeah, well, we kind of covered quite a bit of the Morphew case there. So we'll be doing it again anyway. So we'll be keep talking about this up until trial, because there is so much to talk about. And also other bit of news, I believe, was Letecia Stauch is claiming insanity. She's claiming the insanity plea on her case. Let me just find latest on this, and I can read it to you. Yeah, she's pursuing the insanity defense against the charges that she brutally murdered Gannon, of course. I'm not surprised at all. I think she's playing by the book. She's doing everything she possibly can to try and get out of it. She's trying every dirty trick she possibly can, right? She's had about, 3 mental evaluations, mental competency evaluations, and now she's going down the insanity plea side of it. So yeah, she can do one, absolutely. Echo those sentiments exactly. Evil, insane behaviour from her ever since she was caught, which was good because she kind of opened her gob and gave a lot away, didn't she? But yeah, so she says that, let's have a look. So the woman charged with murdering her young stepson and dumping his remains is now pursuing an insanity defence. They were set to start on March 28th, the trial, but this now could put that back, which it probably will. There's a status hearing on March 17th, so I'm going to be sort of keeping a close eye on this. I think that's another case that really needs to be followed. I'm sure a lot of people will. Obviously, it gained a lot of media interest, didn't it? So yeah, she's going down that route. Oh, Letecia. Can't believe just how quickly time goes. It's unbelievable, isn't it? What was that, January 2020 that happened, wasn't it? Around about then? It's like 2 years, man. That's insane. Yeah, just insane. Right, okay. So sorry about the technical hitches. I'm probably gonna wrap it up now anyway, because that's just completely thrown me off now. So what I had organised, I don't know where it's gone. Yeah, does she really think she's going to get away with it? I think she does. I really do. I think she thinks she's going to get away with it. I think she's had far too much time sitting around thinking about stupid excuses that she's going to come up with. She tried to escape out of jail, didn't she? She was passing notes under the. I think she's like criminally, I think she's actually psychologically insane. Very strange behaviour. And then you got a poor daughter on the other end of it, Harley. Of course, people were saying, possibly she knew something. I don't believe she did, personally. I really don't. But it's just so sad, isn't it? The family members, that kind of get caught up in it all. But yeah, that was a horrible, horrible case. How that ended was just horrific. But yeah, that's coming up. That'll be March now. Could be longer. Now she's claiming that she's insane. I guess that's gonna. I don't know what happens then. She could be evaluated again. I guess she would have to be evaluated again, won't she, to see if she actually is insane. Yeah, Harley's got it bad, man. Harley's got it bad. I mean, what a situation to be in. Well, it's the same, isn't it, with the Morphew daughters? What a situation to be in, Where do you go from there? I mean, you're just going to be sitting waiting, aren't you, for the trial? Everything's just your life's going to be turned upside down. Mine's just going to be on a trial. What the hell's going to happen at trial? Is my parent going to prison for this? Did they do this? Are they innocent? Blah blah blah. Mine must be going all over the place. Can't imagine. That's another side of, isn't it? Another side of these murders, these crimes, isn't it? It's a ripple effect. How many people get affected? Do you know what I mean? Immediate family members, siblings. It just goes on. Well, thanks for being here tonight, guys. Anyway, it's I really, I know people do, they'll happily sit doing shouting, screaming drama, and they'll have a couple of hundred people in chat because it's all drama and everyone gets drawn into the drama. I'd rather just have 20 of you guys in chat. Do you know what I mean? Good people, interested in crime, know what they stand for, stick up for themselves. And, I'd rather that than just sit here talking drama, bashing somebody else. The whole YouTube, to me, the whole YouTube scene at the moment is just gone mad. It's just gone ridiculous. It's just creator on creator bashing. I mean, look at the Summer Wells case, how that's turned into a complete circus. You got people shouting and screaming outside of people's houses. It's gone mad. YouTube's gone mad. It's crossed the line. You know what I mean? Into people's personal lives and all of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, but how do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about all the drama on YouTube? Are you sick of it? Do you enjoy it? How do you feel about it? I just don't. I'm bored. I'm never into it. It just bores me to death now. That's all I see a lot of the time when, in this particular corner of the community when I put YouTube on. It's just craziness. It is just crazy now. I don't get it. It's just not. It's not for me. Yeah, like Kim's put it perfectly well. At least we tell the truth. We've had to, especially, Kim and Deb have had to stick up for themselves recently, and I will as well. I'll fully support them, and they brought receipts. We always come with receipts, and we prove them certain people to be telling lies, and that's it as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that's the end of the story. We don't need to go any more on about that. But we come at us. We'll come at you with the truth, and we'll bring receipts. You know what I mean? We don't do drama. We don't tell lies. We don't make up stupid things about people. And it was always the same back in the day, with Team Phoenix and AD. We just bought you. There you go. This is what's happening. This is what he's saying. We didn't do personal attacks on him. We didn't go real life. That's another thing that I just did not agree with. A lot of what happened with AD and all of that. People following him around to his poker and all of that stuff. way too far. People have just gone way too far with all of that. That's why, part of the reason why I stepped out of it. I didn't want anything to do with it. And that's the way that I do things, and that's why I'm on my own now. I'm doing my own thing. With regards the Rusex and all that, I wish them well. I wish them the best in any future court case. That's it, It's now in the hands of the legal people where it needs to be. I don't think there's anything else that anyone can do. A lot of the stuff on YouTube just makes things worse. I'd rather try and build this place up into a better community, of helping people and all that kind of stuff. That's why it just kills me when I just see people shouting and having a go at each other. And, I don't care. You guys in chat, you can go on any channel you want. It's not for me to say. But, as my choice, if there's creators I don't like, you won't see them here. That's it. That's my choice. But you guys do what you want to do. But, that's up to you. But, I'm not going to bring it on here just to try and get a load of views. It's just not something I do. But sadly, that just seems to be the way with YouTube at the moment. Drama sells, right? So I've got enough drama in my own life, enough to worry about my own life. As probably sure a lot of you guys have as well, to be doing with all that. So, but yeah, it's not nice to be lied about. So, if that happens, then we'll speak out, which is what we've done recently about a certain person. But that's it, as far as I'm concerned. That's the end of the story. Do you know what I mean? And you don't need to shout and scream. You don't need to shout and swear to make a point to people either. So there you go. But no, I appreciate every one of you guys. I appreciate all of you, for sticking with this channel. And, we've been out of the scene for a long time. I know, it's probably take quite a while for us just to sort of get our place back in, onto YouTube, but that's fine. I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the way it's going, so. And I hope you guys are too. I think the same. So on that note, I'm gonna jump off. As I say, we've got a massive storm coming tomorrow. So yeah, batten down the hatches if you're in the UK. It's supposed to hit the southwest and Wales, and that area is going to be hit the worst. I've actually issued a red warning, so sounds pretty serious, right? But yeah, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is. And yeah, I'll speak to you again soon. I'm away this weekend, just going to see family this weekend, but I'll be back around next week, and we'll certainly try and aim to do a live, at least once a week. Seems to be Thursdays at the moment, and I'm going to start trying to put a few more videos out. It's a little bit hard with time, and also I haven't been feeling 100%, and still don't, but try and do as much as I can. I hope you find it interesting, and yeah, stay safe out there and try and stay out of the drama if you can. Well, if you enjoy it, then go for it. But yeah, stay safe and have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you again on the other side.